Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cassidy the Cardslinger Live here on My Psychic Connection. I am so excited to be here, guys. This is my favorite hour of the week. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you guys just caught Journey's show. That was amazing. I caught the beginning of it, but then I have to, get myself all dolled up before I hop on the screen. But yes, how's everybody doing this week? Hey, do you guys want to type in the comments just like one word? If you had to summarize how you're feeling this week in one word, let me know how you're feeling. Are you feeling joyful? Are you feeling energized? Are you feeling scattered? It's cool to check in to see how everybody's doing and how people are dealing with whatever's going on either in the sky. Gemma says flat. I hear that. Megan says hopeful. I love that. Oh, that's so wonderful. Beautiful energies. Thanks, guys, for sharing that. Keep typing those in. I like to see how everybody's doing. And please, guys, share me around to anybody that you know who's out there and could use a reading or would, optimistic from Energy. Hey, Energy. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, let's be optimistic tonight, folks. And that's another thing I like about this community, right? If we're feeling flat, maybe we can borrow a little bit of that optimism, a little bit of that hopeful. I mean, it's nice. Energy can certainly be, I was going to say infectious, but infectious or contagious is, I guess, the words I'm totally looking for here. So we are streaming on over 160 different platforms, which still blows my mind. But what that means is as questions are rolling in, there's, maybe 8 or so that we get the questions from. So please be patient. Audrey sends me some octopuses. Thank you, darling. that is my new very most favorite emoji. Oh, that's so good. But yes, welcome. If this is your first time here, I am Cassidy the Cardslinger, and I am a reader of all sorts of types of cards, and including one very ridiculous deck that I do have with me here tonight. So stay tuned, folks. We're gonna play the game we played last week to see who gets a reading with that deck. But how it works, go ahead and type your questions in to the comments. If you're listening to me somewhere just on audio and you don't have a place to type it in, you can head on over to YouTube and type in My Psychic Connection, and you can find me live here right now. And I'll say too, make sure that in this corner it says live, because sometimes we'll get questions that roll in after the show is over. So as long as this says live, I am here and I am live. So yes, type in your question. I'll be doing 2-minute readings for free. And if you're interested in getting a bit more information, we will have the donation link floating around here as well. You can donate for a 3-minute reading, 5-minute reading, mini reading, or a mega reading. Mini and megas are both not timed. So if you've got a bit more information you'd like me to dive into for you, I can certainly do that. The mini reading is if you got, one question, one situation, and megas like, oh, I maybe have a very complex situation with many moving parts and things like that. And all of the donations jump right to the front of the line. So if you don't want to wait, I won't make you wait, darling. So what else? Please do not ask me tonight or any night that you see my floating face here upon your screen. No medical questions, so I'm not going to read on anything physical health related. That includes pregnancy. No death predictions, birth predictions. I'd steer clear of that. And also no legal matters, so we'll save that for another day. I'm also not a psychic medium, so I'm not going to be the person to connect to your loved ones. If you would like to, though, we have phenomenal mediums here on My Psychic Connection, and you can find them tomorrow. Actually, the next show will be tomorrow evening for Journey and Friends at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure you tune into that show, or you can find everybody over on mypsychicconnection.com, where you can get one-on-one private readings with the reader of your choice. Cool. What else do I want to say? I don't know. Please share me around. Please send some emojis. I really like seeing everything that's popping up on my screen. Guys, the questions are rolling in. How am I feeling this week? I'm feeling pretty good. I would say I've oscillated between. I've had my scattered moments, but I would say, who was it that said optimistic? I think that was energy. I like that as well. I definitely feel. And I think that's kind of as we're wrapping up the end of February here, and not necessarily from an astrological perspective, which, by the way, if you have not seen Psychic Squirrel's series, every single week she's putting out the transits and so you can see how the transits in the sky are going to be playing out in our lives and what we can expect for the week. That is exclusively on my Psychic Connections YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. So I don't need to go into the astrological nature because we have our very own professional to do it for us. But what I will say, even if we're just looking at seasonally here, we're wrapping up towards the end of February and moving into March, where some places are starting to experience the first bits of spring weather and all the things that come with that, whether we're thinking of spring cleaning or we're thinking of getting more serious about something in particular that's maybe been in hibernation or quiet over the last few months of the wintertime. Whatever it is, I hope that the springtime brings new energy for everyone. Whatever you need, right? Maybe you need a little more rest, and that's great too. Hopefully you can have a nap in the sunshine, or maybe you need a little more pep in your step. So I hope that spring will bring everything that everyone needs. And the last thing I'll say to you guys, we are celebrating Black History Month. It is February, and February all month long we've been having the donation links are supporting the Black Lives Matter Foundation. So $1 from every donation is supporting that wonderful cause. And I've got an interesting fact that I'll share a little bit later in the show as well. And I hope everybody's been able to spend some time this month educating themselves on this massive part of American and world history. So with that, I'm going to shuffle my cards here. Good. I've got so many cards. Oh, I got another story just about the week I've had. I've had a really exciting week in terms of purchasing new cards, but I'll save that story for later because it's ridiculous. All right. I'll be ready for my first question there, please, to the lovely folks in the back. Colleen. Hey, Colleen. Colleen asks, pardon me. Colleen says, hi, Cassidy. Can you share with me what kind of work I'll be doing in the new job I'll be getting this year? Share with me what kind of work I'll be doing in the new job I'll be getting this year. Colleen, my dear, if you were here, do you want to just let me know, what type of field you're in? If you have any other context, or if you're just not really sure, where you're going, that's fine too. But do let me know. I'm going to just go ahead and lay some cards here to see what presents itself for, the type of energy we see from the new job for you in 2023. Interesting. Okay. Well, the first thing I get here is quite a stark. Oh, that is really interesting. It seems to be quite a stark contrast to the work that you've done previously. And the way it's coming across is a bit less structured. And I don't know if you're at all interested in doing any level of entrepreneurial work or where you find yourself in the boss seat and you are a lot more in control of your hours. But to me, it feels like this new work comes with an air, I guess, an air of flexibility that was not present at your previous jobs. It seems totally different, like the structure of the contract, the nature of the hours, what's expected from you. It does seem like it's going to be a lot of work. I'm not saying it's, flexible and fluffy and I just show up when I feel like it, because it does seem to have quite a real structure to it. Anything in the lines of, I would say communication is going to be a very big part of this, whether you're placing calls to customers, clients, or being in a space where you're fielding calls or needing to talk to people quite a bit. I feel like it's going to be pulling you out of your shell in a way that you haven't. I just keep getting that's very contrasting to the type of work you've done previously, a lot more flexible, and I will say better money. Probably not immediately with the cards. I'll just say with the cards I have here, but it looks to me like great financial potential with the field that you're entering here, my darling. So thank you very much for your question. I do hope that was helpful. And that's very exciting, starting a new career. it's very interesting too, the types of questions that come across my desk, whether people are, just looking to do a small pivot, take all the skills they have and just do it the same thing somewhere else, or if you're looking to completely change up everything. And sometimes either are needed. But I wish you all the best, because it's very exciting. New careers. Oh, hey, look, 8 of Pentacles just flipped up on the bottom of my deck. This is a really lovely deck. It's a black and white one. And I don't know, it's feeling black and white today. All right, I'll be ready for my next question, please. Gemma, hey Gemma, how you doing? Hope you're well. Gemma, you said you were flat. Were you the person who said you were feeling flat? I hope that I got that right. If you're not, please forgive me. I'm not calling you flat, but I thought that was you who said that. Anyways, Gemma says, I have a few health conditions. I'm waiting for an op to correct. How does Adam feel about me with these? He does take good care of me when he visits, but I think it may slightly put him off me. All right, my dear. Oh, and then she says, meaning, how does he feel about my health condition, not the op? Okay. Well, what I'll do, I'll take a look at that. Let's see what is on his mind surrounding the condition that you have, and see, to what level you will find that it impacts your relationship with him. Let's take a look at that. How is he feeling towards Gemma, specifically in relation to the condition that she has? Okay. Aw. Is he quite lovely? Is he really quite lovely? I mean, okay, well, the first thing I want to say is I don't feel like he has a very clear like, I imagine you've communicated this condition, this situation with him, but when I'm looking at him, it feels like he's, I almost want to say a little bit overwhelmed with the information, but not because it's that level of concerning to him, but it just feels like he doesn't understand really how, I feel like he doesn't understand fully what that means for you, for him, and for your lifestyle. The reason why I initially said, is he quite sweet? Because what I put these cards down, what it said to me immediately was he either wishes he could be a part of the solution, or I feel like he's very willing to help you through your healing process. I don't feel like he's scared or worried or concerned about the future you have together. To me, it seems like it's not going to impact your relationship. I'll just say more for the romantic side, but I think it draws out a part of him that genuinely cares for you and cares about you, my dear. So that is what I see for you and for your question. So thank you very much. I hope that was helpful. But guys, yes, so for people who are just joining us here tonight, welcome. I am Cassidy the Cardslinger here on My Psychic Connection, and I'm doing readings, yes. Please go ahead and share me, though, too, with any of your friends on your feeds, on your Facebooks, on your wherever you find me. Let people know we're just trying to reach as many people as possible, and I could read cards all night long. And sometimes I do. So, I really do appreciate, the support for the community. Gemma says, he said he's not going anywhere, but hates me struggling. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense based on those cards. It was so much like, I would take that away if I could immediately. Like, it didn't scare him. He's just like, how do we fix this? And that's like such a beautiful thing too, in this context, and in, when we look at our friends and our family and the people around us, when you express a concern, a condition, a problem, something that you're having, and then that person takes the we role, where it's like, that's not a you problem. Like, what can we do? They take that on board with you and like help you through the solution. When you get those we friends, man, hang on to them. There's beautiful people like that just, she says he's lovely and helps in any way he can. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. So he's a wee person, that will take, it helps sometimes to either spread, not spread the pain, but to spread the, I don't know what the word is I'm trying to say. I don't know, spread the trouble. and have someone else, you know, help push the card along. Bad metaphor. Okay, I'm trying over here. So, like I said, if you're listening on somewhere that I'm just in audio form, go over to YouTube and type in My Psychic Connection, and you'll be able to type in your question. And I will be happy to sling some cards and answer what's going on for you. So I'll get these good and shuffled here, and I'll be ready for my next question, please. Audrey, hey Audrey, how you doing? Audrey says, hi, is my oldest daughter Kaylee okay? She's been really off this week, staying in her room, frequent outrages, yelling at everyone, fighting with her boyfriend, etc. Is she okay? So she's been really off this week, staying in her room, frequent outrages, yelling at everyone, fighting with her boyfriend. All right, let's take a look at that, Audrey. We'll see what is going on for Kaylee this week. And, you know, just I'll see if I can get a sense of, is it about to pass? Like, where are we at? What's going on with Kaylee? Okay. Yeah. Aw. Okay. Yeah. So what comes to mind immediately here is that seems to be, I don't want to say completely out of character. She says, we are all stressed, but she's adding to everything. Yeah, I want to say, like, it's not unfathomable, this behavior that she's exhibiting right now, but it seems like it's a bit more extreme perhaps than is typically expressed. It does seem like she's under a lot of stress, and she's taking things, the way I see this is she's feeling very isolated, very left, and very alone. And I don't know if she's made a recent large decision recently. I have the Fool in reverse for kind of what's led up to this. And I feel like I'm regretting something quite recent, and it's kind of feeling really real. And now I don't know if I'm really on the right track. We've got this Nine of Wands here in reverse. And I feel like she's isolating herself to try and figure it out. But at the same time, that seems to be not very helpful and not the best thing she could be doing for herself. But that's really just how she's coping. And it feels like, even with this Ace of Cups, she says, yes, I feel that she's starting a new job also. Okay. Yeah. And well, I had the Ace of Pentacles reversed there, so that does make sense. I'll just say, you know, lastly here with this High Priestess upright, I do feel like this will pass in the not too distant future. I feel like this is a phase that's real, you know. I'm not talking down what she's going through by any means, but it does seem like there's a shift in her situation fairly soon. So I hope that was helpful, my dear. And I'm sorry that is a very stressful situation. Any times in our homes, in our families, it's a very real thing. She says, okay, thank you. You're very, very welcome. Okay, guys, so I'm coming up on it here, but I'm not doing it just yet, but it is on its way. So if anyone was here last week, I'm going to do this again. This was where I basically take a pack of playing cards, and I have let the folks in the back know which card I am looking for. Okay, so when I say go, and I'm not doing this just yet, but I'm just going to explain the rules of the game. I just want everyone to start typing in any playing card that comes to mind. And I mean, this is a really great intuitive exercise. If you can try and get a hit in terms of what card has been pulled, because the person who gets the right card is going to get, and I'm doing this again this week. I might switch decks, but I'm going to use my ridiculous deck for a reading. And again, this is something I typically don't use in client readings, but it's fun, it's quirky. The messages that come out of it are very interesting. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll probably do that one in maybe about 5 minutes or so. But get your typing fingers ready, because we're gonna do guess the playing card, and it's just fun. I don't know. I enjoy it. But please, guys, make sure you're sharing me out far and wide, anywhere and everywhere. And, you know, let's get more people in the beautiful My Psychic Connection community. Awesome. We got lots of questions rolling in here. And guys, do remember, if you want to jump the line, or if you want a more in-depth read, go ahead. And I should have said this before, but type in your question and then donate, because then we can only jump you to the front of the line if we have your question. If we don't have your question, we don't want to, stop the show and wait, right? So if you are planning on donating, make sure we have your question alongside with it. Yvette says, sounds fun. It is actually a really good time. Hi, Chelsea. Thanks. And say hello. If you're here, and even if you're asking a question, if you're not asking a question, like, please say hi. I love to know who's here, because then when I see your names pop back up, it's like, hey, the gang's here. Awesome. I'm ready for my next question, please. All right, Mahesh. Hi, Mahesh. Mahesh says, hey, there is a Muslim girl who used to look at me and her family too. Her family looked at you? Okay. Who used to look at me and her family too. Now her younger sister is giving me attention. I want to know why they are doing it. Ooh, interesting. So this girl looked at you, her family was looking at you, and now her younger sister is giving you attention. Do you have any further information on that? Like, what do you mean by attention? Like, we're talking like flirty, or is it like weird? I don't know. Let me know if you're here. But I'm going to go ahead and lay some cards and take a look and see what the cards have to say. Why are these people looking at you? I'm going to look at it separately. So we're going to go from originally that first girl. We'll see how different it is, because it could be for different reasons. The family. And the young daughter, or the younger girl that you had said. Interesting. Okay, well, he says, like making eye contact. Interesting. Okay, so the first girl, the card I have here, I got the Two of Swords upright. So to me, she seems kind of like maybe look at you and then look away as soon as you noticed that she was looking at you. It would have been her wish that you didn't notice. I feel like she was just trying to like take a peek, be a little bit sneaky with that. Why was she looking at you? Like, to be honest, I think she was attracted to you. I have the Star card upright, and I mean, to me, this energy feels a little bit flirtatious, a little bit checky outy. I'm not seeing anything, sinister, or she was worried about you or anything. That's what I get from her. From the family, I have the Two of Pentacles upright, and the message I get from that immediately, and I don't know how or if this makes sense, so let me know. I get the words like to see how you fit. They just seem like they're evaluating you, trying to get a better understanding of who you are. They would be interested in knowing a bit more about what you're about, is what I want to say there. But thank you so much for your question. I hope that was helpful. And how interesting is that? When he's, asking a question about someone who's been looking at you, making eye contact. And I literally get one of the only cards in the deck that has, she's got her, let me show you right up. There we go. She has a blindfold over her eyes. She's completely, so that's pretty cute. Anyways, but yes, guys, please make sure you are subscribed over at our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and type in My Psychic Connection. Chelsea says, dang, that fellow's so loud, it scared me. I'll often listen to this show. I'll have it on either, if I'm driving, I'll be listening to the other readers. And yes, there's a few times Mahesh says makes sense. Awesome. Thank you. That bell, it'll just snap me right back to life. But yes. Awesome. So where are we at? Okay, I'm gonna do the game. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm about to say go, folks. So again, if you weren't here just a moment ago, Mahesh says, thank you so much. You're so very welcome, my dear, and I do hope that was helpful. We're gonna play the game. We're gonna play Guess the Playing Card. I have got a standard pack of 52 playing cards here. In case you don't know the structure of the deck, we have the 4 suits. There are hearts, there are diamonds, spades, and clubs. They are numbered ace through 10, and then there's Jack, Queen, and King. And the card that I have selected could be any one of those cards. So, get ready, set, go! All right, so type in what playing card you think it is, and you can guess as many times as you want. You don't have to guess once and wait. As fast as you can type, please start typing in playing cards. And if you are an intuitive folk, as I know a lot of the wonderful people here are, see if you can get a hit in terms of what card that might be. Awesome, we've got some great guesses coming in. Thanks, guys. Just keep typing as fast as you could go. Anything ace through 10 or any of the court cards from any of the 4 suits. So while everybody's doing that, I did something exciting within the last week. I bought 26 decks of tarot cards. And I just want to share that here because, I mean, I don't think you folks will judge me. It fits well with the brand, right? Cassidy the Cardslinger. And I was actually visiting my parents, and my mom had said to my dad, she's like, how many decks of cards do you think she has? He's like, I don't know, maybe 20 or something crazy like that. And then literally the next day, it was a large purchase. So over the coming weeks, you're going to see a bunch more decks gracing my table. Rebecca says, awesome, LOL. Thank you. Yeah, so that was all the way very exciting. But yes, so please go ahead and type in. I see lots of good guesses coming in. Keep them typing. Type. Awesome. I hope it pops up here soon. Yes, good guesses rolling in. Anywhere, ace through 10, jack, queen, king. You guys can guess as many times as you want. You can literally just start. Ace, 2, 3. I don't care. Anyway you want to do it. But there is a fun reading on the line here. So please keep these guesses coming. I know there's like maybe a moment's lag between the typing and the coming over to my screen. Lots of excellent guesses coming in. Awesome. Keep it coming. This is great. I hope everybody is having a nice evening. Yay. Thanks, guys. Keep guessing. We're going to run out of cards here, too, because I had originally thought of doing this with the tarot deck, but that's 78 cards, and then I wasn't sure if everybody knew all of the cards. So I was hoping a standard pack of playing cards would be the way to go. So please keep those guesses coming. I don't want to take a question in between because then it's like, I'm going to, it's going to just be rolling. Oh, great, guys. Okay, keep it going. We're getting close. We have got to be getting pretty close. We have really got to be getting pretty close because there's been so many. Chelsea asks, do you use oracle cards? I always feel like they're cuter vibes with designs. I'm a sucker for colorful cards. Please keep your guesses coming, by the way, guys. Guess any of the play cards. 7 of clubs. Do we have it, Yvette? Yeah. Congratulations, Yvette. You have won. It was, in fact, the 7 of clubs. I will answer that question, though, about oracles, because, yes, I do. I have a hefty collection of oracle decks as well. And I've got a couple on my table here, which I will often use to layer my readings. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be cards and decks out there for absolutely everyone, whatever style, theme, whatever you're looking for. But yes, I definitely do read oracle cards as well. So thank you for your question. Yvette! Congratulations, Yvette! All right, my dear, you have won. People are saying congratulations. I love this community. The most wonderful people come and spend their time here. Yvette, my dear, so how this one works is I don't necessarily need a question. Rebecca says, go, Yvette. I intuitively had clubs originally, but couldn't get the actual card. Nicely done, Rebecca. Yvette said a little hearts emoji. Cool. So, Yvette, how this one's going to work is I have, like I said, this ridiculous deck of cards in my hand. And I will do a reading for you. If you have a question or a area of life you would like this to be in relation to, let me know. And if not, I'm happy to. This is the only time, because we don't do general readings here for very specific reasons. But this would be the only time that if you didn't necessarily have a question, I could just see what the message is for you. But Yvette, if you have an area of life that you would like for this to be pertaining to, Yvette says, thanks, Cassidy, to everyone. Thank you for being here, my dear. So awesome. Yvette, do you have just specifically, so I don't know if you'd asked another question or not, but this is different because this is just a separate little thing. So Yvette, just let me know if you have a specific area of your life you want your one reading, that your one reading, the one that you won. Otherwise, I'll just go ahead and lay some cards to see what the message is for you. This is a massive deck. It is so chunky. Like, this is a full 2 hands on deck shuffler. Okay. Well, I'll see, Yvette. I'll just lay some cards and we'll see what the message is for you. from the ridiculous deck. Oh, some of these I just don't know that I want to say on the air. That is always the risk. Okay, Yvette says about moving into a new place. Okay, I'm going to put those cards back. I'm going to put those ones back. Okay, Yvette says, okay, so her question is, when do you see me moving into my own apartment? So I'm going to leave that for the regular list of cards, or like regular list of questions, but I will see what the message or guidance information that comes through this deck in terms of you moving to a new place. Although the cards are ridiculous, they do sometimes have a very interesting message to them. All right. Oh, hey, this card is making its rounds. She said, sorry, my computer was lagging. No problem at all. Okay. One of these cards we saw last week. The first card is called Horse Death. Okay, so we have it's a horse with a head like so. Squirrel's gonna love this card. This card is called the Inverted Squirrel. So it looks, we have a squirrel eating. I don't think squirrels eat worms. Maybe they do. We have Horse Death. We have the Inverted Squirrel, and then we have, once again, this card that had come up last week. It's called Werewolf and a Pig Making Out. I hope people are laughing when you're seeing these cards because they're absurd. So in terms of you moving to somewhere else, well, this is kind of interesting. So I'm looking at this Horse Death card, and he's got this spoon over here behind him, and he's looking in a different direction towards this little penguin type critter. And then in the next frame, I guess I'll read it like that. We have, the squirrel that's sitting upside down, but it's actually eating a particular thing. She says, pretty interesting designs on the cards. Absolutely. This is going to sound, and I don't know if you're looking at moving far or to a different town or to a different area, but the first thing that becomes quite interestingly poignant for this reading with this werewolf and a pig making out is it's a very unlikely couple or an unlikely situation of where to think to move to. So to me, it's like however far you're thinking of moving, even if you've picked a specific town or if you don't know where you're moving to, it's a totally different state or the world is your oyster. To me, I think there's a piece of guidance here that I want to say with this card in terms of looking somewhere where you hadn't considered previously or somewhere where you think maybe, she says, different town. Okay, so I would say if there's somewhere that you've maybe written off or it didn't seem like a good fit initially, I would say revisit that. With this particular card, it seems like an unlikely match is going to be a good one here. Something that may, and this is strange and weird with these two particular cards. I'm going to say, look at the cuisine, look at the food, look at and not just necessarily the food, but like the community surrounding what is available to do, evenings, weekends, whatever it is that you like to do. It doesn't have to necessarily be food related, but any type of, I would say, consumption or things that you'll be involving yourself in your community. With Horse Death, it seems to me like trying something completely different. So a hobby or I'm going to just stick with hobby, a hobby that might, be offered in a particular location. And with this inverted squirrel, it might even be revisiting something that you had done previously. So keep all of that in mind with when you're looking to your move. I would say, yeah, somewhere that might be unlikely, either food or an area that the town or the environment, the surrounding area seems to have things to offer that excite you as opposed to just are comfortable. The inverted squirrel, it's not time to be, upright squirrel burrowing where you always burrow. Inverted squirrel, trying something different. And I think that's similar to the message to that other card there as well. With the werewolf and the pig making out. Absurd, ridiculous. Thank you so much. I appreciate your everyone playing the game, and congratulations again, Yvette, for winning the crazy reading of the night. All right, I'm going to switch back over to my regular tarot deck, and I will be ready for my next question, please. Folks, we have a donation. Yay, thank you so much. This is a reading for Katie. Hi, Katie. Thank you so very much for your donation. makes me very happy. It really supports the community. And $1 of all of our donations are supporting the Black Lives Matter Foundation this month. So thank you so very much for your donation. All right, let's take a look at this. Katie asks, could you please see if Jordan and I are done for real now? Okay, Katie, let's take a look at what's going on. The situation between you and Jordan. All right, my dear. Okay, I'm going to get a number of cards down. Okay. All right, my dear. So looking at this situation, sort of where he's at, where you're at, where I'm looking at your relationship as a whole, to me it looks like, are you separated? Are you currently not together? She says we're currently broken up, but I'd like to know into the future. Okay, that makes sense. To me, I feel like he is completely withdrawing. When I'm trying to look at his energy, how he's feeling towards you. This is a very interesting card. I have the 4 of Swords. And in this particular card, you can see there's a man laying there, and then there's a woman and a child in this window, and he just seems to be completely zoned out, you know. There might even be a little bit of malicious intent there. So I don't know if you've recently had a fight or a level of argument that just, I feel like perhaps some of those words have made their way back to you. He just seems pulled away from this situation, and I'm really sorry about that. When I'm trying to look into the future here, the cards are really saying to me, I think you fundamentally are wanting different things, and to try and put this back together at this point in time, I have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So to me, it's sort of like the life path he has for his future and the one that you have for yours, with this Queen of Pentacles up right here beside it. It's almost like you're wanting to still invest in a future for the two of you that he's not meeting you halfway at, if that makes any sense. It seems to me like the other card here I have is in terms of advice, guidance. I have the 10 of Swords in reverse. Had this card been upright, and the question that you asked was, are we done for good? Had that card been upright, I would have honestly said yes. But the fact that it's in reverse, to me, is not saying that this story is all the way over. But I really want you to consider the other 2 cards I have here. I've got the 4 of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords upright. Even if you two did get back together, it just seems like there's a wedge completely stuck in between you. Like you're wanting something, he's wanting something else, but you're wanting him to want the thing that you want instead of seeing what it is that he wants, believing what he's saying in that regard. And I think he's probably been a bit harsh about it. Yeah, he's been really, I'm sorry. To me, it seems like he hasn't been particularly fair or kind in his level. I'll just finish what I was saying there. In his level of communication towards you, she says, yeah, he was. It seems like he knows how hard his words can cut, and he's willing to use that weapon. And I'm very sorry to hear that. But to really answer your question, I'm not seeing, she says, no. I'm not seeing that this story is all the way over. But it seems quite far away from you getting what you want out of him at this point in time, my dear. I'm so sorry to say that, but I hope that was helpful. I do really appreciate your donation, and thank you so very much for your support and supporting the community. It's a very challenging situation when, man, my heart just goes out to you, my dear. My Psychic Connection says, Katie, we love you, and we'll walk you through this. We got you, love. Absolutely, we will. She says, okay, thank you. You're very, very welcome. And the other thing I will say just quickly about the spread is I've got two upright queens here, and both of them are showing me you, this Queen of Pentacles and this Queen of Swords. So I want to just give you props, though, for the fact, I'll say, for how well you know yourself and what you want and what you're looking for. It's beautiful to see the seed of empowerment you have under you. And I want someone worthy to be at the throne beside you. That's what I want to say, my darling. So thank you so very much. My heart goes out to you. I also like, Yvette says, thanks so much, Cassidy. Oh, you're very welcome. From Ridiculous Deck Reading. She says, okay, accurate reading because I wanted to revisit a town. Excellent. Did you have something to eat in that particular town that was relevant to you? And you don't have to, like, with the spoon, with the squirrel eating the worm. If you had a memorable meal, I don't know. That deck is absurd. And, like, I just have a good time with it. Anyways, thank you again, Katie. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle into this deck here. I'm really enjoying these black and white cards tonight. They're really hitting the spot. Sometimes I like me a lot of color. But other times, you know, black and white does the trick. Speaking, okay, hang on. I had a fact. I had a very interesting fact. Yvette says, yes, strawberry cheesecake. Go back. Yes. Okay. Definitely check that town back out. And guys, I just want to quickly share this fact with you because I thought this was really interesting. And this was actually Psychic Squirrel had, I believe it was on her first show of the month, had talked about Rosa Parks. And if you were not there at that show or you don't know who Rosa Parks is, she is definitely worth looking up. But basically, in a long story short, she refused to give up her seat on a bus. And it basically sparked this incredible civil rights movement surrounding, you know, why there had to be segregation on the bus. And it was just, you know, it was a beautiful movement that came out of that. But what I wanted to say, because this is quite interesting, Rosa Parks, when she had refused to give up her seat on the bus, that was December 1st of 1955. And I want to bring your attention to a 15-year-old girl. Her name was Claudette Colvin. And on March 2nd, 1955. So this is the same year, but March to December. She was riding home on a city bus after a day of school. And then when a white passenger got on board, the bus driver said, you need to give up your seat to this white person. And Claudette said no. And she actually ended up getting arrested for that. And what I just think is incredible from her story, and the fact that this one has as well surfaced, is a lot of times when a movement finally takes shape, there's someone that gets credited because there's some level of work that they did, you know, that really brought that to light. But we don't always think about all of the people who maybe stood up for something and never, you know, their action was maybe not the thing that started the movement or really made the change, but there was a number of events, a number of brave things, a number of, you know, independent, isolated incidents that happen that we don't get to hear about, where people are standing up against injustice in our societies. So I just wanted to give Claudette at 15 years old a shout out on our show tonight, because to me it was incredible. You know, a lot of people do know Rosa Parks, but I think she should also be recognized for her bravery as well. So with that, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my deck again, and I'll be ready for my next question, please. Rebecca, hey Rebecca, how you doing? I hope that you're well. Lovely to see you. Rebecca's here with my little octopus emoji and some purple hearts. That's so sweet. Guys, send some emojis here as well if you're watching. Any emoji, it'll make me smile. Rebecca says, hi Cassidy. My husband has been standoffish lately. Can you? Oh my goodness, sorry. Oh, interesting. Yes, he has. My husband has been being standoffish lately. Can you tell me what the cards say about his feelings or thoughts right now? Thank you so much. All right, my dear. Let's take a look at Rebecca's husband. What's going on for him? We can understand his thoughts or feelings surrounding the nature of his standoffishness. What's going on for Rebecca's husband? Oh my goodness. Okay. Aw. Okay. Wow. I don't even know where to start, but I'll start here. I just want to say too, my dear, I'm not picking up that it's you. I'm not feeling like there is a calculated or a particular, like I'm being standoffish or trying to pull away from you in particular. Two different ways of looking at this. When you are pulling away from someone else, you can be pushing away from that person, or you can being pulled in another direction. And to me, that's what it seems like. Looking at these cards, it feels like he's under quite a bit of pressure or a bit of stress. It can certainly be work related, but to me, it seems more like either family management or household management type things over top of and above, combined with the work that he has going on. She says his job's probably, he's been so tired. Yeah, so 2 cards I've got here, got the Queen of Swords and the Ace, or the Eight of Pentacles. So that's where I'm saying it's really not you. I feel like you're being helpful, even if you maybe don't feel like you're being helpful in this regard. And 4 cards for what's going on for him. Knight of Swords reversed, the 10 of Cups reversed, the Ace of Swords reversed, and 2 of Pentacles reversed. So yeah, to me, I feel like my plate is full and I'm just scratching to keep up. Like, so many things are requiring his attention that he feels like he's not really on top of anything in particular, and it just seems to be really quite bearing down on him. And I do think I will say he has some regret for how it's impacting like you, your family, and your household. But that can't bubble up while he's so emotional, or not emotionally, but so mentally caught up in a lot of things going on. She says, thank you. You're very welcome, my dear. I hope that was helpful, and I really hope that that situation changes for him. With that Queen of Swords energy too, and much like, hey, that looping back in the earlier reading where it's like the bringing someone in a problem and making it like a we problem. And there's only so much we can do, right? When it's our loved ones and our friends' work, it's, things where it's like, hey, I can't go do your job with you, or, there are limitations with how much we can, of course, help other people. But in that regard, especially for her reading, and what I had talked about earlier is when we help spread out I'm still not getting the word. Help spread out the challenges or the difficulties that we're facing. And not necessarily in a misery loves company way, but just to have that support around us when we're going through things that are difficult and or challenging in our lives. Cool. Well, I'm having so much fun tonight. Rebecca says on top of it, we've had our sink broken, van broken, big problem. It's been rough. Oh, I'm so sorry. See, okay, that makes sense. That 10 of Swords or 10 of Cups upright, and then the Knight of Swords, like that one thing after another, just getting buried. And it seems to happen that way too. If you guys have noticed, it's like very rarely is it like one thing that just happens to go downhill or happens to require our attention. It's like it's always going to come. Often it'll come in threes for whatever reason. But man, we just get pulled in so many directions, and it's like the saying, when it rains, it pours. My heart goes out to everyone experiencing that situation, and my deepest hope that it passes as quickly as it can. We don't need to hang out in those situations of our lives any longer than we need to. She says, totally, you're awesome. Oh, you're awesome too, my dear. Thank you so much for being here. All right, this is so much fun, guys. We are rolling into the last little bit of the show here, so do make sure you are tuning into the other shows. We've got shows every single night of the week, and tomorrow is Journey and Friends from 8 till at least 10 o'clock Eastern time. It's always such a fun show. You never really know who will be there. There's always lots of people. There's drinks, there's readings, and it's just the most fun. So make sure you're tuning into that tomorrow. And make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel at My Psychic Connection, and checking out all of the amazing content going on over there. Journey's got the tarot card of the day. So every single day, if you want a message or some information about navigating your day, definitely check those videos out. And Squirrel on Monday, if you were not there, amazing, gave us the story of the mythology of astrology for Pisces. That is a mouthful, and she did such an incredible job. And every single person here has Pisces in their chart. Fun fact. And she talks about it, and she does charts. So definitely go and get your natal chart done if you haven't yet. But I really recommend checking out that video. I was laughing in tears, and then I was like bawling in tears at a different point. And it's so beautiful. You've never seen a story told quite like Squirrel tells stories. And she did Aquarius last month, which was so spectacular. So those are coming out every single month. So make sure you're checking out that series. All right, guys, I'll be ready for my next question. Oh, so you have another donation. Yay! Another 3-minute reading for Katie. Hi, Katie, my dear. All right. Katie says, can you please see in comparison how Jordan and my healing will go? Will he really be able to move on and be all happy as he comes off. Oh, okay. As he's coming off, where he's outwardly happy, is he really going to be able to move on? And you mean specifically from your relationship? Because you had mentioned you guys are separate right now. I'm sorry. Is it possible to have that first question back up? I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much. So let's take a look at with Jordan. And yeah, like you had said there, the outward to inward healing and how that looks in comparison of Jordan and yours. So let's take a look. For Katie, I'll look for you first, my dear, because my heart is with you tonight. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to look for him. She says, yeah. Okay. So Jordan. All right. Okay. All right, my dear. So if I'm looking into your process and how the healing road looks for you, kind of, traversing through this over the next little while. First card I have here is the Hierophant upright. So to me, it feels like surrounding yourself with friends, family, anyone who can be supportive of you at this time. People who offer you, good, solid guidance, advice, and just a sense of belonging, I think will be very helpful kind of in the short term. If I'm looking at how this progresses, it does look like it's going to be a bumpy road. And I'm very sorry to say that, but it doesn't seem like I can see the end of it. I can see the end of it right from here. So know that doesn't mean it's a long, necessarily dark night of the soul type of thing. That just is I'm not going to say this isn't going to be a very challenging thing to get through, because to me, it feels like there's still a piece of hope that maybe things will change. I don't really want to give up on this. I don't know that you've admitted all the way to yourself that you are ready to walk away from this at this point in time. And I feel like getting, your head and your heart on the same page is going to be a tough road. But I want it, at the end of this, I have the Ace of Swords upright, where I want to say, coming out on the other end of this looks so, so beautiful for you. And you asked about him too as well. He's going to be what looks to be okay for a while, and it's going to hit him a little bit later than it hits you. Whereas to me, it looks like you're seeking information right now. You're trying to understand. You're open and willing to have these conversations, and then things, are heavy for a while. To me, looking at him, it's like at the moment he's outwardly projecting that he's all right. I've got this King of Swords upright. And then I feel like that loneliness starts to set in after he's not had you for a while. When he finally knows what it's like to miss you and to not, she says, it hit me hard now. Yeah. I completely I'll say the process for, if you're looking at a timeline from start to end, you're in a dark and a difficult place now that has its time, and then you come out beautiful. And I don't see that all the time, but I do here. For him, he's dealing with it fine now, and for him, his progression starts to go downhill, whereas yours might take a little more of a U shape. His is declining much more slowly than you, and I might be too late before he realizes what he's lost, and you may no longer be willing to open that door. So thank you so much again, Katie, my dear, for your donation. And again, my heart does go out to you. I'm so, so sorry you're going through this. And like I saw there from that last reading, she says, good. Yes. It makes me so, I need to pull myself out of this, because as a non-judgmental reader, I like to see the situation for what it is. But when I can see in my cards that people are being just outwardly terrible to someone, she says, sorry to be petty, but good. No, girl, not live for petty. I mean, it's just justice for Katie. Yeah, actually, that Ace of Swords, justice for Katie. Right there. You get it. What was I saying? I was just saying, when I see people that are, It's like, why do you just have to be that mean and that terrible to people? I want to reach through my cards and just energetically smack them upside the head. Justice for Katie. You will get yours. You will. You will get your justice. You will get your peace and the clarity on the other side of this. And I don't wish the same for him, darling. Guys, we're in the last 5 minutes of the show here, so I'm going to take one more question, and then that will be the very last question of the evening. All right, this is for Kadaj, and please, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Katie says Dracaris to jerk the poop on love. Dracaris all the way. Will I be successful in my stock trading career? Oh, that's a great question. All right, let's take a look at that for your career. Will you be successful in your stock trading career? Let's see what the cards have to say for you. How that looks. Oh, dang. Okay. All right. Okay. I feel like looking at these cards, you have an interesting edge about you. And I want this not to go to your head when I say this. I'm saying this with love, and I'm saying this very truthfully, but don't let this go to your head too much. Because to me, what's being shown to me is I think you have quite a good intuitive understanding of the market that understands more than what's being presented on a data sheet, on, looking at a what's the word? Basically, when you, the word is not there, but basically when you look at a company and all of their income projections, what I would say is what people get from that, looking strictly at the data, you see past that. And I think there's an intuitive knowing that you have that will serve you very well in this field. This is where I'm saying don't let it go to your head, because to me, it looks like in the short term, you're going to experience quite a lot of fluctuation. It looks quite uncertain, but then the two outcome cards I have for you, I've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. It says charting. Thank you very much. I see that as where this is heading for you, but I've got the Two of Swords and the Moon first. So I think you're going to go through a bit of a tricky period, getting your feet under you and really figuring out how you want to exist in this space. You might go through some losses, and I'm going to say a rather fluctuating period, but you asked if you're going to be successful in this line of work, and I see very much so on the other side of that. So thank you for your question, my dear. That's a great question. And that's cool that I got to see in the last two readings and I don't see that all the time, because it really depends what's being presented, how, the timeline we're sort of looking at. It's nice to see, like, I love me a good ending. I love me a happy ending. It's not always the case, but it's cool when I get to see a success at the end, a win at the end, or something like that. And with those two very high-ranking coin card upright, he's saying, yeah, thank you. Yay, thank you. Yvette's saying energetically smack them through the cards. She's laughing at me with that. But yes, I mean, that looks like a good space for you. It's cool to see that too. The other card I had there was the High Priestess upright. So it's like, there's things that you'll know about the markets that aren't obvious to everyone else. Guys, this has been such a wonderful evening. Thanks everyone for being here, and massive thank you for the donations and for everybody's time, for your questions, for your emojis, for your comments, and for everyone for guessing for the crazy game of Guess the Playing Card. I'm probably going to bring different decks on over the coming weeks for the winner of that game. But man, and I just pulled one of my favorite cards here, the Greased Priest. And that one also came up last week. And I dropped it on the floor. Because he's so greasy. Oh, I need a drink. I need to go to bed, whatever I need with the rest of my evening. I'm just having too much fun. But guys, please make sure you are subscribed over at My Psychic Connection. Sorry, YouTube. Find us at My Psychic Connection on YouTube and on Facebook. And if any point between now and the next show and any of our other shows, please make sure, you head over to mypsychicconnection.com and you can get private one-on-one readings with any of us. And guys, there's shows every single night of the week and some really cool stuff coming up on our YouTube channel. And a lot of it's going to be YouTube exclusive. So make sure you're subscribed there, because that will be where you can find all that good stuff. I think that's maybe everything I meant to say. I hope everybody had a great time. Thanks. Events has had a good time, Cassidy, and everyone. Thank you so much, Badir. I hope everyone enjoyed the show, and I will be back. I'm the Thursday night gal, so I'm on 11 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Pacific time. So you can find me next Thursday and then enjoy the other shows up until that point. But make sure you're here tomorrow, Friday, because the Friday show is amazing. That starts at 8 o'clock Eastern time. With that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and love you and leave you. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting the show, for hanging out with me. And I will catch you guys next week, and we'll be in March. So thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. And we will see you then. Bye-bye.